Today we'll be talking about how you teach your students about finding the main idea or central idea, how to tell the tone and mood of a text. We'll also be discussing ways to use context clues. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a mentor text, and we're going to look at it, and we're going to talk about the way in which we will go through with our students. There's video attached to the bottom, so I won't be coming back on with it. I'll let you look at it and we'll go through it after that. On this version, I don't have the video attached to it because I didn't want the video playing and me talking at the same time. But on this one, you'll notice we have a mentor text. It's on the side. We have some steps that we'll use in the middle of it, like have the students look at the text, have the students read the text, ask the students what the text is mainly about, and have them to answer the 5 main questions. And so now we're going to watch the video. Finding the main idea or the central idea of a text is not always easy, but there are some things that you can do to make it just a little bit easier. The first thing is, let's look at the title of our text. That's going to give us a pretty good clue as to what the rest of the text is about. Next, let's look at any subtitles that we have. After that, we'll move on and read the first sentence of each one of our paragraphs. Now we have a pretty good idea of what the rest of the text is about. Last but not least, let's answer the 5 basic questions. Who, what, when, where, and how. We can answer these, then we know what the main idea of our text is. Now that your students have finished watching the video, what you'll have them do next is go ahead and answer your question and do the activities that was discussed in the video. The first thing that was said was that you would highlight the title, so you go ahead and do that. Jamie's date with Dad would be highlighted. Then you would do your first sentence, and it was Jamie was very nervous as he peeked around the corner. Go ahead and highlight that. If there's any other pertinent information inside that text, you can also highlight it. Let's answer our 5 major questions. Who, what, when, where, and how. Who, we know we're talking about Jamie. We know the what is going to be that he was very nervous. When, this is obviously after school. He's getting ready to talk to his dad. Where, we know he's at home. We're not really told how, but we can go from there and get our students to go ahead and figure out what the main idea of this paragraph is. This is just a sample that I did that has all the things done already for you. Again, we have the title highlighted. We have the first sentence highlighted. We've answered our who, what, when, and how questions, and we're going to go on from there. So now we're able to answer the question of what is the main idea of the text. So looking at the text, looking at the title, looking at our who, what, when, where, and how, looking at our first sentence, we can infer that the central idea or the main idea of this text is that James is very nervous because he has to tell his dad about an incident that happened at school. Now we can use this same text to teach our students the difference in mood and tone. You may be asking yourself, what is the difference between mood and between tone? Well, let's look at that now. Mood is the feeling you or your students get from reading a text. Let's look at the following. It says the floor creaked as the 2 frightened teens eased across it. What mood is created from this sentence? So in keeping with the theme of mood being the feeling that is created by the author from reading a text, we'll look at our key words. This is the floor creaked. I've highlighted the word creaked. As the 2 frightened, highlight the word frightened. Teens eased across it. So I highlight the word ease. So what type of mood does this create? When you look at the words that were used and the words that were highlighted, the words creaked, the words frightened, you talk about the two teenagers easing across the floor. This creates a mood of suspense or possibly even one of fear. Now we'll look at our mentor text. We'll show this to our students. We'll read it with them. We'll have them decide what is the mood of the text. We'll have them look for clues. Here you see I have highlighted certain key words like very nervous and peeked around the corner, twisted his hands behind his back, seemed calm. Jamie feared the calm would change once he told his dad about the incident at school. We have he took a deep breath, and we also have the words with heavy feet trudged. So we're going to see what type of mood this creates. Now that we've pointed out these clues to our students, we can have them look at it and decide just what type of mood was created. And from the words that we had, we could infer that the mood was one of suspense or that it was suspenseful. The tone is the way the author feels about the text or topic. When teaching students about tone, we have to emphasize the fact that tone is how the author feels about a particular subject. That tone can be positive, it can be negative, it can be neutral, and a whole variety of things. If you'll notice, we have listed in our section, we also have suspenseful and exciting. Taking what we know about the author's tone, when we look at this text, out of our options, we know the tone for this text is going to be suspenseful. He has a tone of suspense. Also, it could even be considered neutral. Now we can go ahead and teach our students how to use context clues using the very same mentor text. The word we're looking for the definition for is the word trudged. We're going to use context clues to help us determine what that definition is. Earlier, when we were talking about mood, we had already highlighted some words. So we'll look at the words we have highlighted. We'll look at how the word trudged is used in that sentence, and we'll come up with a definition. Using the words that we have underlined and using our clues and making emphasis, we would then explain to our students that the word trudged means to walk with heavy feet. Now we've made it all the way through our journey. We've looked at our mentor text and we've decided what the main idea is, or central idea if you choose to call it that. We've identified the tone, the mood, and we've talked about how to use context clues. So now you can use this example with your students, and good luck.